Hello, everybody, and thanks for stopping in for this webinar. Let me turn on. Oh, the webcam is disabled while screen sharing. So I am new to doing the webinars here, and I will mute the chat for sure in a few seconds here. But what I want to do in this live presentation is go over some details that I want to share about my success in the cryptocurrencies. So this is a free webinar. It's a live webinar, and there's not going to be a replay of this webinar. So you have to stay to the end to find out what goes on at the end. So in this webinar, I'm hoping to show you whether or not you should even register for the new course that's coming up on July 11th. I'll talk a bit about what's going to be in that and if this is for you or not. So recently, I'm on YouTube all the time, and I saw some YouTube videos where there are some fantastic claims of people saying they're making amazing profits trading cryptocurrencies. And for my story, I really can't doubt them. But when I see their videos, I saw that there's a raft of really nasty comments below their video where people were demanding more concrete evidence from these claims of people who are saying they were making all this money of cryptocurrencies. And so I didn't really watch through the videos, and I didn't follow up to see if the guys made new videos to show more. But I wanted to do a webinar because there's an explosion of people doing these videos on YouTube all of a sudden. And I wanted to stand apart from all of those who they may seem shady, but it might be that they are just not practiced well. They're just beginners at online marketing. But there are a lot of scams on the internet, especially in the Bitcoin and cryptocurrency world. And I've even fallen victim to some of those scams, and I've lost money myself. So what I'm going to do in this webinar is I'm going to show you my trading portfolio using using cointracking.co. And I use that to draw in the Poloniex API data so that it keeps showing me my trades details automatically. It's really easy. Second of all, I want to test out this new webinar management platform. Of course, we're doing that right now. And I'm going to thank all of you who watch all the way to the end, because I'm going to give you a special discount coupon that you can use if you choose to buy the course after the free training sessions that are coming up starting on July 11th. So the free training that is coming up, let's start off with that. It's going to be the same thing as the free trading that we did earlier. And if I go to the courses section here and open that up, one thing with the live presentations is that, of course, I have to have all this stuff ready beforehand. If I go to LP courses here, then I'll bring up the details of the free course that is going to be the structure for the free webinars that I'm going to be doing on July 11th. So wealth building with cryptocurrencies and trading with cryptocurrencies. We can see here that last time we've had 380 people joined up to this free course. And we had, of those, 52 people joined up to the paid course after that. And I'll tell you right now that the wealth building with cryptocurrencies will give you everything you need to do to learn how to think about money, how to make money, and then how to make that money work for you. And if you repeat those three things, think properly about money, make money, keep it, and make that money work for you, you will become financially independent. And a lot of these in cryptocurrencies are money that's going to go up 10 times or 100 times in value. So the stuff that I'm going to be teaching on the July 11th course is extremely valuable for everybody who's joining up. And there will be no requirement to pay in order to learn how to get rich. There will be no need to really take the whole course. But For other people, they'll want to take the entire cryptocurrency trading course. It's much more detailed, much more included in it. And we get right down to the actual trading that has made me so much money in cryptocurrencies. And it's the wealth building has been very helpful for me. It's a great core. But let's go over now to coin tracking. And I'll just click on my short link here. And this will bring us up to what's in my account right now. About 30 Bitcoin worth, and it's approximate. Here's what I made in the last 12 months in Bitcoin value. So I started off here with about 7 Bitcoin, and you can see here that it's been up and down quite a bit, but this down part here, I bought a big screen TV. This part here, I took out money and I fixed a bumper on my car. This was a pretty big drop here where I bought my Mint Miner mining machine. And then this drop, I took out some more money, and then the markets retraced a little bit and they came back up. Then in here, I took out another big chunk of change and I sent that home in Canadian dollar. And I just did the same thing again yesterday or 2 days ago, where I took out another $15,000, another 5 Bitcoin worth of profit, and I sent that home. Those money I'm going to use to buy more mining machines, and you can expect to see lots more great mining videos. So you can see here my total balance right now is $110,000 Canadian. And if I go back to the all data here and I show in Canadian dollar, you can see how much my account has risen. I started off, where does it say here? 887 days ago was my first trade on Poloniex. And I built up from zero. And I remember in the summer of 2015 telling a friend of mine that I had gone from, look at this, $36 here, $35 in May of 2015. And in July of 2015, I told a friend that, hey, I just took 50 cents and turned it into $5. And he goes, well, you can buy me a beer. And we didn't really talk about the fact that 50 cents to $5 was up 10 times in value. So come along the summer of 2016, I'm pretty quiet with them. We're visiting with my friends and we're having another barbecue. And I'm telling them now of the time that I took $500 and I turned it into 5,000 pretty much. And you can see the growth of it here. So there's another trade where I made almost 10 times value in the trades. But still, it's not a great deal of money to talk about to go from $5 to $50 or 50 cents to $5. It's not life-changing. But come along after the end of March, you know that many cryptocurrencies went up fantastic in value. And I was able to catch a bunch of them, jump out at the top and catch another one and jump out at the top. And there's a specific system that I use for finding those trades. And that's what you learn in the cryptocurrency trading course. I get into the real details about when do I buy and sell in the trading. And you really don't need any of that stuff. And I don't recommend it unless you're really going to dedicate time to it. Everything you really need is in the wealth building with cryptocurrencies. And those will be 3 free webinars starting out July 11th. And I'll go through each of these sections and teach everything. And I'm really looking forward to hearing people's success stories on this. Now, I started off and I said I want to achieve 3 things in this short webinar. I want to stand apart from everybody else and show you my money, show you what I'm actually making in the trading. So I can go back in here and show more about these details, the trade analysis, the realized and unrealized gains. And I can sort these by the biggest and the smallest. So you can see here that MadeSafe coin, I have realized profits of 3.1 Bitcoin already, 2.2 more Bitcoin worth of unrealized profits, that is profits that are in there that I have not claimed yet. Folding coin's been one of my best. I made 8 Bitcoin in profit, and I'm still holding another 0.4 Bitcoin in profit that I have not claimed yet. I really could have made a lot more money with that. Did fantastic with Lumen's coin. There's been a lot of really great trades going on here, and I would like to share those with anybody who would find that helpful and interesting. Now, what else did I want to accomplish? So I'm testing this web management platform on this live thing. So there'll be no replay of this. I'm just testing this out. Now, for those of you who have watched all the way to the end, then I want to give you a special code that you can use if you are upgrading to the paid members course at the end of that. So what I need to do is go to password generator, and I'm going to do a 6-digit code that is not sent across the internet. It doesn't have any weird things like that. None of those. And I'll just generate that. So this is going to be our code that you can use to save money in the upcoming course if you register. This will save you $90 on the $450 course. So you'll save $90 worth of Bitcoin if you use 4W, capital R, 0, small f, and the number 1. And that wraps it up for this short little webinar. I am very happy to have you along on this, but I did say before I'm finished that there would be a Q&A. So I'm going to unmute the chat and ask for your comments. So it's unmuted, and everybody can give me your feedback, comments, questions, anything at all, and I'll keep her going. This is helpful for me to learn how to use this. There's 20 live right now, 33 registered. We've been going for 11 minutes. Can you write the code on the chat? Yes, indeed, I can. Copy and find the chat, paste. Thank you, Daniel. I appreciate it. What's your biggest earners in your crypto profile? Which one do you see having the most potential? Well, my biggest earners right now, you saw, were the biggest. Here's my biggest losses, although I've got some profits coming in that. My biggest gainer is Folding Coin, STR. I'm still holding some Bitcoin, which in and out of. XMR I've done great on. MadeSafe is going to be fantastic. You can see I've made great on Factom, Ripple, Clam, AMP recently, Burst, NXT. And what is coming up next? Well, let me take this screen over and go to Poloniex over here. I logged in? No. This always takes a second now to log into Poloniex. They're pretty overridden. So this is jumping ahead past what is taught in the Wealth Building with Cryptocurrencies. In this course, I teach you how I had to learn and think and feel about money, and the difference between how most people think and feel about money and how wealthy people think and feel about money. It's really eye-opening stuff at the beginning here, and I look forward to sharing that. And then I'm going to go on to different ways that I make free Bitcoin out of the internet, which is fantastic. I've made 25,000 Bitcoin out of one source. And then I'll show you how to grow that Bitcoin that you're earning with the lending on Poloniex and what have you. It's not until I go into the course and I teach about my risk control methods that I really start sharing what things I'm buying and selling, when and why. So first of all, before you jump into the WWF wrestling match, you need to take some self-defense lessons. Before you walk across the street, you've got to look both ways. No matter how many times you've crossed the street, you've got to have those risk control rules under your belt, and you have to use them reflexively as soon as things start to go sour to protect yourself, because there are so many risks in cryptocurrency trading, and we've all seen those markets that have come racing up and crashing down. And if you get in at the wrong second, you are losing 80% of the money you have. So now I'll show you a screenshot of my current portfolio. This is what I'm holding right now. So Made Safe is my biggest holding. Scenario AMP, Lisk, Clam, Factum, Library Credits. Folding Coin, I had tons of it, and I sold out actually just a little bit too early and didn't make near the profit I should have made on that. So Bitmark, Nexium, Pascal, Zcash, HunterCoin, Bellacoin, and you can see that most of my positions are 0.1 Bitcoin and larger now. And this is only one of my 3 Poloniex trading accounts. I divide my trading strategies into different methodologies, and I like to test them all. And so one of my trading accounts is more aggressive. One is a buy and hold forever account. Another one is focused on lending, and that's the one I'll talk about more when we get into those webinars coming up July 11th. Now back to how optimistic I am about the future of crypto trading. I think I'm going to take my $100,000 and turn it into $1 million, Mark. Daniel, we haven't started the beginning of the bubble. We haven't started the beginning of it. 3 to 5 years from now, I'll be looking to be cashing out most everything, as there'll be massive top formations, but it's not even started yet for my kind of trading. Is there any good trading bots? Probably, but I don't trust them any, and my methodology doesn't need them. Mine, it's very simple. It just takes a lot of patience. Lisk, do you think it will replace Ethereum? I don't know if it'll replace it or not, but I do have a couple thousand Lisk, and I'm going to sit on those. Because in December of 2015, I bought 16 Ethereum, and it cost me, I don't know, it was $20 or something like that to buy 16 Ethereum at that time, or maybe $60, I don't know. But of course, 16 Ethereum now is worth 2 Bitcoin plus. It's just amazing how much money that's turned into. So I want to hold my Lisk for that long. Don't trust bots unless you know what you're doing. Yeah, just don't trust bots. They don't need them. You don't need them. Isn't it dangerous to have that much on the exchange? Probably in a kind of way it is, but if we go to the lending market and we see that there is 13,000 Bitcoin available for lending, and we can see people putting out blocks of 24 Bitcoin just for lending, 18 Bitcoin, there is so much money going through here that it's just unthinkable, actually. We have 124,000 Bitcoin in trades in the last 24 hours, and $65 million US dollar tether. And if I bring up my trusty calculator, it helps me to spell it. And 65 million times their 0.002% fee equals $130,000 a day in fees just from the trades on US dollar tether. So what they're getting from 124,000 Bitcoin a day in fees, they're just making an enormous amount of money here in Poloniex. There's so much money going through here that my little bit of 28 Bitcoin that I have in here it's a drop in the bucket, and 25 Bitcoin now. So no, I'm not worried about that. I take that risk. It's probably less risk for that than some of the trades that I do. Here we are. That's what I started off with. Thoughts on the markets now and the prices dropping. I did sell out a percentage of my altcoins into Bitcoin, and I turned that Bitcoin into Canadian dollar because I thought there's no real safe haven. If this is a major top formation in Bitcoin and the other altcoins are going to come down with it, then the only thing to do is jump into fiat currency for a bit, or even into gold and silver, which you might see along the side of my screen here, where I've been shopping for really good gold coins to buy because they are, I'm told, the very trustworthy pieces of gold. How much do you earn lending 25 Bitcoin? I don't know that answer because it changes all the time. But right now, I took the 7 Bitcoin that I have liquid and I put it out for lending, and it's all out for 0.15 Bitcoin per day. So you can see some of them are at 0.002. And if you add all this up, I'm making some pretty nice change just passively putting my Bitcoin out for lending here. Not as much as I would have made if I had kept it into folding coin, but that's okay. Anyway, I want to do this quickly, and really I am fantastically grateful to having you guys along here. Travel Gravel says, do you attribute your success to individual moves or to the market rising as a whole? Definitely the market rising as a whole, and my success is based on trading out of bottom formations and selling out of top formations. And so the year of 2016, you can see that my portfolio was pretty much flat. I was making some, losing some, making some, losing some all the way along because the markets were going up and down and not really taking off anywhere. The best thing is that I'm not losing a great deal of money through that period of time, no big down periods. And then when all the bottom formations were coming out, I put together a playlist on YouTube that just told it all, really. If you'd watched that YouTube video series back here in March, I did a mega review of everything and I drew out all of my predictions. And that's what I traded. That's what I did, is I actually did what I put in here, put my money there, and made fantastic, just wonderful profits. Some of them are just so unexpected. So it was a general market thing combined with the strategy of looking for that kind of market condition. And I would point out that gold and silver and oil in the real world commodities are in a similar position. So it's not just cryptocurrencies. It is a trading strategy of looking for long-term lows, taking a position, and then using a specific risk control combination of rules that I think are fantastic. We're liking it, aren't we? Oh, yes, indeed. I'm liking it very much. It gives me all the time now to just focus on this. I don't have a job. I'm doing very little client work. I'm really focused on doing this part. And the greatest part for me is doing the introductory wealth building with cryptocurrencies, because every time I go over this course, it's reinforcing that thinking in my own mind for prosperity, in a much greater prosperity than $100,000. It's very nice. It solves a lot of my money problems, but I'm looking for far greater than that. And we're in the perfect time to be making that kind of money. And I bring up the example over and over again that if you had bought $1,000 worth of Bitcoin in about January of 2011, Bitcoin was riding at about 25 cents each. So $1,000 worth of Bitcoin would buy you 4,000 Bitcoin. And of course, we know that that $1,000 of Bitcoin, that 4,000 Bitcoin is now worth, you know it, over $5 million. $1,000 into $5 million. $100 would have been $500,000. So I really, when I see that happening, I just got very excited and I jumped in full force in 2015 when I finally discovered the cryptocurrencies. And now I'm starting to benefit from those results. It may be the same amount of time for you guys to benefit this way, but it may be faster. And some of you may start out like I did when I first started trading and I lost all of my money. And then I started trading again after I built up a bunch of more money and I lost it all again. And then there was years of studying the charts and studying the books and reading everything I could before I finally got in a position I could start trading again. And cryptocurrencies made it easy for me to start off with micro bits of money that was risk capital, money that I didn't need for my daily living. It was separate. It was like monopoly money to me. And so then I was able to grow that using everything that I've learned over the years. And I hope that I can shorten your path by giving you some of the basic ideas about how to think about money. It's so key. And then where to go and get free Bitcoin and how to turn on those taps so that you have that money hose pointing and you can grow that money in all these different ways. The simplest, least risk way that everybody should be doing as part of your balanced cryptocurrency trading plan would include this lending on Bitfinex and on Poloniex. There's probably others as well. And then for those of you who want to, you can be doing the trading course, and I think it's fantastic. And it's not, I say it's fantastic because I didn't make it. I didn't write any of it. I collected it together over years of studying, and I put it together as my own trading journal, my own trading plan, rather. So I was trading, I wasn't making good profit. I said to myself, well, I need to be more clear about what I'm trading. And I wrote everything down. This is what I do when this happens. This is what I do when that happens. And then over time, as I rewrote my trading plan, it became the course that is available here now. And even now I go through it and I rewrite it and improve it even more now. And in July, I'm going to be releasing it in the form of a book. So with your questions and your help, we are going to improve this course and do some great things. So, David, do you have plans in ICO on RuneScape coin? No, I don't do much on RuneScape, but I did go in there the other day and sold a bunch of stuff. I was figuring to sell my Bitcoin gold, but then none of the Bitcoin gold buyers had enough money to buy 1 billion gold pieces. So what I advise people with a low budget at this point, I don't like day trading. It's too many costs and turning over your account over and over again. You want to reduce your trading fees. So you really, with a low amount of money, you got to do the, I would say 80% of your money should be in lending. 20% of it you could put into a little bit of cryptocurrency long-term investments. So salt a little bit into each of the major massively inventive currencies and have just a little bit of it. You know, that $1,000 into Bitcoin turns into 5 million. But if you would put $100 or $10, you're still making phenomenal percentage gain. And so when you're beginning at trading, focus on your percentage gain and not how many dollars you have, not how many Satoshi you have, but focus on the percentage gain, because that's where it all comes down to. What is Bitcoin gold? I don't know, Daniel. What does this summer mean for cryptocurrencies? We're on a big, long uptrend. The S&P 500 is $2,000 billion in market capitalization. Bitcoin and all the cryptocurrencies are not quite 50 billion, I think, as a number. 2,000 billion for the S&P 500. We're not talking about the trading that goes on for gold and silver and for lumber and pork bellies and you name it, coffee and sugar. That's just the S&P 500, 2,000 billion market cap. And so if Bitcoin gets into things like the S&P 500 and all those companies, and it gets into things like insurance, and it gets into gold and silver, and it gets into every financial transaction in the world, then not only just Bitcoin, but all cryptocurrencies are going to go way up in market cap. For example, MaidSafe coin is probably going to go to 20 billion market cap itself in the next 3 years. So it is an example of something that, like Bitcoin, you could buy now, and that in 3 to 5 years, if you did absolutely nothing, you would be really grateful that you were on this seminar here today. The big Bitcoin and the SegWit issue and this thing that's going on August 1st, and then is going to lead to what's going on 3 months later in November 1st, I think it is. What I believe is going to happen is it's going to essentially lead to what happened with Ethereum and Ethereum Classic, where it essentially doubles your money in a minute. So everything that you're holding in Bitcoin is going to turn into double that. So I'm going to want to hold quite a bit of my currencies. I don't know. Quite a bit of my currencies in Bitcoin as that question is coming to a answer. And then as soon as that fork happens and it does double, I'll watch the chart prices to see which one do I sell out of like I did with Ethereum and Ethereum Classic. And it doesn't mean I'll stay sold out of either one of them. When the 2 Bitcoins do come, if they do come, I will trade in and out of them as they go up and down and make chart patterns. I really do seem to like MadeSafe. Yep. And I like what Gert is saying here. The safe way to keep your profits is to lend it. Really, seriously, if you just take your money and lend it, you're going to make fantastic, unthinkable growth in your money. That's all you have to do. It takes no time. It takes no worry. It's absolutely guaranteed. You just check in and watch your money grow as consistently as the compounding on that is unthinkably powerful. And I'll talk more about that in the course because I really want to illustrate exactly how powerful that is and why you should be doing it as a core part of all of your cryptocurrency trading. No matter how good I'm into my trading, I have a good part of it of my profits that come off and go into a lending account that's just for lending. I want a deep reservoir of stable money underneath me. So Litecoin, I think, is going to go an order of magnitude higher, but it's going to be a rocky ride. So be careful when you get on. An order of magnitude means 10 times in value. Ripple is going to do the same thing, and it's going to be an upward trend for quite a while. And the reason I think that about Ripple is that it has industrial buy-in, and it's got a trick up its sleeve coming right away that they talked about at the very beginning of Ripple, but I haven't seen much talk about it recently. But I think that these big explosions in price are because that trick up their sleeve is going to be announced soon. And I'm not going to say what the trick up their sleeve is because I have to do some more research and make sure that I'm right about this before I'm saying it here. Now, if there's any other quick things I can go over, I'd be Lisk. I was saying pardon me, I'm muting the mic as I'm clearing my throat and coughing here a little bit. Lisk, I think, is going to be as big as Ethereum and probably bigger because it apparently, from what I understand, it does much the same thing as Lisk, but the programmers can work in JavaScript instead of the programming language that Ethereum requires. And since JavaScript is the most common programming language in the world, that's going to have unthinkable numbers of programmers with great ideas jumping in to do little sidechain projects on Lisk. So I watched a couple of videos recently about the Lisk versus Ethereum, and I posted them in the Lombard City forum. And hopefully that helps a little bit, but I am great. I appreciate the invitation to come hang out in the high altitude Discord there, David. I was in there before, but I don't seem to have access to it now, so it's okay. And if I had to pick 5 coins, what would they be? Man, that is a tough question, Pete, because I'll go through the whole thing on the weekend and I'll try to narrow it down myself, and I have a hard time narrowing it down to just 5. And so what I do, if I have 1 Bitcoin or if I have 1 unit of cash to invest, I'll split it up into 10 pieces. I'll find 10 markets that I want to put some in, and I'll put half of all that money into the markets. And the ones that prove me right, I'll add the other half of that investment into it. The ones that don't prove me right, I'll take my losses and get out of that and rethink it and review. And so it's sort of a little bit of whack-a-mole game, where you put your money down on all these things, and the ones that jump up, you whack it and you add more to it. And that's pretty much the whole game. Oh, thank you, David. I appreciate the invite. Oh, but the instant invite is invalid or has expired. So send me an email there, David, lumbridgecity@gmail.com. Daniel asks, how much of a total portfolio do you think one should have into Bitcoin? 50%? I have less of my money in Bitcoin than I've had in the past. And this chart is the reason why. It's just gone up so much that I think that's a pretty good time to take profit. Now, I bought in here September 24th, and I bought 2.5 Bitcoin, and I sold out here at 785 or something. I thought I was a genius. It was fantastic profit. Went to Brazil on the profits, actually. But if I had done nothing, it'd be so much more money now. At any rate, this top formation is still worrisome to me. And until it breaches and goes higher than it's been before, I am watching for selling and keeping my money over into cryptocurrencies as much as I can for myself. So right now I probably have, well, I have only 7 Bitcoin out of the 35 total that I have, thereabouts, as my percentages. So that's pretty... When do you think Bitcoin will start to go up against, when do you think Bitcoin will start to go up against its Bitcoin? Again, oh, I see. Bitcoin is still in a top formation. Well, it has to break that high before it's proving itself to go higher. Pete asks, don't altcoin values depend on Bitcoin's value? It seems like when Bitcoin drops, so do the rest. It used to be the opposite, Pete. About 18 months ago, when Bitcoin was going up, all the alts would be going down. And it seemed like the altcoins were pinned to the US dollar rather than to Bitcoin, even though we're expressing their value in US dollar. And I was confused about that a few times. But recently that has shifted, where now when Bitcoin went up, all the alts were going up with it. So I don't know which way it's going to go and if that correlation is going to stay. But I have such belief in all of these other altcoins that that's where most of my currency is, because I believe they're going to go up 10 or 100 times in value when they really tick off their... Daniel's asking the same question as Pete earlier, where Pete asked, what would my top 5 cryptos be? And I have a slippery answer for that, because it's a slippery one to answer. I can't even do that for myself when I try to narrow it down like that. So when I go through the monster day and I go through every different currency and I write my technical analysis for all of them in a video form for the members every week, I try to go through it afterwards and I review my own video and I make a spreadsheet and I check off which ones are green, which ones are hot, which ones I should be moving money into. And I never am able to narrow it down to the top 10. There are so many good ones right now that it's really fantastic to diversify into 10 of those that are making your favorite trading pattern. And then the risk control rules that you use are the most important thing. And I'll go into more of those in the course, because it's is it possible to be a member and see these videos now? No, I'm not taking any registrations until July 11th. And I'm really working with the guys who are already in the course and spending time with them. We have our own private Discord chat, and we have a lot more going on in their private forum, and really working with everybody is in there right now. And I'm very excited to be getting the new course out, but it is going to have a limited number of registrants in it, because I really want to be able to talk with every single person who's in there. And, I'm doing this full time, so that makes it a lot easier now. Pete, if you're a member, send me an email or a direct message in the forum. And I'll give you access to everything. Steam and Steam dollars are really good. Do I have Coinigy open? because it's often faster. Often faster to go through the charts in CoinGee. And so this is the stuff that we do in the members all the time. We sit here all day and we go over every single market on Poloniex and everything else. That's not looking good. That's a top formation and looking weak right there. But it's also where weak hands are shaken out before a big move. Like this, weak hands are shaken out before a big move. So it's your risk control that really is the magic ingredient. Well, we have higher lows, lower highs coming to a triangle, which is a fight in the market. And usually when the fight is lost, the other side has to capitulate and the price explodes like this. So I like it. And I also like, I think this is Steam Dollars. I'm also really liking this one over a 1-year chart. And zoom in a bit. That's fantastic looking. That should be tantalizing to everybody who's fishing for good moves in cryptocurrencies. You should learn to recognize this kind of pattern. It would be like an angler who is fishing and you see this kind of pattern on the lake. That's where the big ones are. I don't know if CoinGee is a good trading tool. I never use a third party to connect up and do trades. I don't want to have that additional way of people being able to hack my Poloniex account. So I don't hook up anything to have trading authority on my site. Though with the cointracking.co, I do have that hooked up. So it pulls in the Poloniex API. So you can import all of these different exchanges here to cointracking.co. And with the automatic imports, you can have Poloniex APIs and your GDAX and Bittrex, Bitfinex APIs all import here automatically. So you can quickly see where all of your trades are across all the different platforms. So it's a great one here. And then for CoinGee, I just use it for the charts and for the technical analysis tools so that I can draw lines and all sorts of tools and stuff here, mostly lines. So, do you still feel good about one broker copy trading? I don't copy other traders, but I've recently just put up a new trade there for people to copy, going long on silver. So if you're copying other people, I really recommend going and reading the book Reminiscences of a Stock Operator. It's a great book, really entertaining. Reminiscences of a Stock Operator is one of the most recommended books by traders for traders. And this was written back in the 1920s or something like that. Read that book and you will get a different perspective about copying other people's trades. And you'll be happy to have other people copy you on one broker where you get a piece of that fee. But I would never copy somebody else's trades blindly. However, I talk about it online because if you click through and do any trades on that, you are through my referral link and I get a piece of all of your trades. And it's made me about $25,000 over the last couple of years just telling people about it. Daniel asks, what pattern? That's a secret, ancient, actually it's not a secret. It's very findable in every different textbook about technical analysis out there. I don't teach anything new or interesting. It's quite basic, but it really caught this move. And I've made a really nice profit on this one. Anyway, I'm going on and looking forward to the webinars on the 11th of July. Thanks again for signing up, everybody. And good luck in all of your digital currency trading. I look forward to seeing you guys on YouTube. Cheers.